We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live, and today's topic is about. It's about how planet Earth is conscious. Sorry, I was muting something. So it's about how planet. How planet Earth is. Yeah. So let's continue, and I'm going to share with you guys Gaia hypothesis that talk about the planet Earth. And the Gaia hypothesis says is the Earth alive? Is the Earth entity thing? That is what Gaia hypothesis talks about, and it's what I'm going to share with you guys. So let's stay together. Let's stick together. So yeah, this is the uh, channel, and is Earth alive? Is the Earth really a living entity? That is the title. So let's start what the article say. So you can see
Gaia
there are
hypothesis.
standards.
Is the Earth really a living entity? The so-called Gaia hypothesis is as famous as it is controversial. It proposes the entire planet is a kind of huge organism composed of elements: humans, other animals, plants, bacteria, rocks, algae, metals. interacting with each other in mostly invisible ways to maintain stable conditions.
So you see, it's about this.
It was proposed by James
Einstein,
Lovelock in the 1970s
James
and
Lovelock
quickly
in
gained the limelight,
1970s.
scientific and otherwise.
The one
But
who
what
studied
exactly is it all
this
about?
about
Can there be any truth
the
to what
planet,
might seem like one of the
living
many
world,
New Age
and
legends of our time? What is more, we asked this question just a few months after the passing of its originator last July at the incredible age of 103. One of the many impediments to fully accept of the threat of global warming is the stubborn notion that humans are not powerful enough to influence the climate of the entire planet.
So now here is about crisis of global warming. He talked about crisis of global warming that also it proves that it's a living entity, looking at what he started, living organism, but look at the climate itself, the global warming. So it's about consciousness, mind, and what science say. Remember, scientists is about the empirical observation. What they see with their naked eyes, they interpret it as reality, and they look deep at atomic level, not that just using our naked eyes. Naked eye, remember, these are the eyebrow and eyebrow we use, but they use the microscope. So they examine things at tiny level, at atomic level. Just to think, at atomic level, that to say they look at how atoms combine and uh, modulate and evolve. That is what this is trying to say. But in reality, uh, if they try to understand existence and leaving out that the atoms are the fundamentals, then they will get to know that what are fundamentals are is mind. What is fundamental is mind. Is what is fundamental is the soul. What is fundamental is the spirit, not the atoms. But for them to leave out that the truth is mind, is soul, is spirit, is light, then it means the science can change dramatically, and even scientific products we might be used, they might be of model, looking at the development of AI and looking at the science the way it is, where they examine when the examination is based on atoms to be fundamentals. So to integrate artificial intelligence in the evolution of science is really hard. But if they just change, if they change to empirical, to rational reason that mind is fundamentals and atoms are dependent on mind, then that is good start to go, and we can enjoy scientific evolution. We can enjoy scientific products like the way we use that now. Of course, we are using, yeah, all we use right now. I'm using my phone, I'm using my computer. Oh, it's part of science. But looking at examination, at how can we examine now the it might be application we use, then that is become we use on our phones, we use on our computer. That can become, because applications are not atoms, you see. But if we understand mind, then we can together and conclude that mind is fundamental and atoms are dependent on mind, and we can use it, uh, use it as a basis for our growth and our understanding of existence and reality.
In truth, we are not the only creatures with such power, nor are we the first species to devastate the global ecosystem. Indeed, the story of life on Earth is the story of life continually rebuilding the Earth. Try to think about it. Trees, algae, and other photosynthetic organisms produce most of the world's breathable oxygen, helping to keep it at a level high enough to support complex life, but not so high that the Earth bursts into flames the slightest spark. Ocean plankton drives the chemical cycles on which all life depends and emits cloud cover, altering the global climate. Algae, coral reefs, and mollusks store enormous amounts of carbon,
So
balance ocean
we
chemistry, and defend
examine
coastlines
the
from the elements.
ecosystem.
And a wide variety of animals, such as elephants, earthworms, and termites, continually scour
Ecosystem
the
of
planet's
other
crust,
weather
altering the flow of
animals,
water, air, and nutrients, and
the ones
improving
how
the
they
prospects
how
for
they
millions of
interact,
other species. It is precisely on these
so
suggestions
that they come
that
to
the so-called
conclusion.
Gaia hypothesis is based. Conceived by British chemist
Looking at all this now, it's what brings up to the conclusion. Looking at the ecosystem of other world beings is what brings in conclusion of is the Earth a living entity. Let's just share the. This is the best way. I think sharing the whole screen is the best way on how we are viewing the topic.
James Lovelock in the early 1970s, and later developed with American biologist Lynn Margulis, the Gaia hypothesis, named.
So you can see the Gaia hypothesis. It was first developed in 1970s by the one who was mentioned, and this was second one. So Gaia is a big organization. It says so. It is located in Europe. It's a non-governmental organization. First, I should explain what Gaia is. Non-governmental organization, and its sources in Europe, and it's the organization that give charity work to different countries, more especially here in Africa. And they might be students. They might put students on full scholarships for university, especially tertiary students, those that are in this, universities. They might be about home-based care, providing home-based care. It might be to a village, it might be to individual person. That's what the Gaia is all about. And in the process of doing so, they also study. So Gaia is mostly the most funded organization. That is what I wanted you to know about what Gaia is. So those who work there, they are educated, they have their scientific research and researches, and they come up to conclusion about the planet, what the planet is, and where it is, and where it is going, and understanding the existence. But they don't come to the conclusion that all that exists is mind, is life, and the planet is conscious. So for you to know and now understand what consciousness is, let's first see what the woman had to come out in a conclusion.
After the ancient Greeks, after the goddess who represented the earth, proposes that all the living and non-living elements of the earth are parts and partners of a great living being that in its entirety has the power to maintain our planet as a suitable and comfortable habitat for life. Although this bold idea has found an enthusiastic reception among the general.
So you can see on this, he also looked at the Egyptian god and goddesses, and who also had that same idea among the general public from
public from the start.
Yeah.
Many scientists have instead criticized and ridiculed it. I would rather the Gaia hypothesis be studied, wrote evolutionary biologist Graham Bell in 1987. Microbiologist John Postgate was particularly vehement. Gaia, the great Earth Mother, the planetary organism, Am I the only biologist who suffers from a feeling of unreality when the media once again invites me to take these silly conjectures seriously? Over time, however, the scientific establishment's opposition to Gaia has diminished. In his early writings, Lovelock had perhaps gone a little too far, thereby encouraging the misperception that the living Earth expressed its own will, which is obviously not easy to accept. But these exaggerations aside, the essence of his hypothesis, the idea that life transforms and in many cases regulates the planet's transformation,